Hello, everybody. Dan DeFedericis from Saratoga Report, and I'm here with an old friend, Beth Fecteau of Nacre Dance Group. She's the founder, owner, artistic director, and probably a few other titles, right, Beth? How are you
Yes,
doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm surviving the track season traffic.
That's
I, I love track season, but I still reserve the right to complain about traffic.
I hear you.
I well, so, and you're here today to talk about a pretty darn exciting event right in the middle of track season, which is kind of neat in and of itself because some arts groups avoid track season, but you're diving right in. On August 5th, Nacre Dance Group will be presenting. So you think you can choreograph at Universal Preservation Hall, a gem here in Saratoga. Can you give us kind of an overview for those that may not know what that is? This is not your first time doing this, but if you can give us an overview of it.
Sure. So when I founded Nacre in 2008, as you know, our mission is to present classic modern dance, but I always reserved a piece on the program for an up and coming choreographer. And in order to find a choreographer, I would just do a call for submissions, and people would send me their DVDs. Back then in 2008, I used to get the DVDs in the mail and stick them in the drive. And I would sit at my desk and look at all these entries and pick a choreographer that I thought would be best, for our program. And year after year, I was like, this is a missed opportunity. I'm sitting here looking at this and trying to pick a piece that I think would be good. So why don't I make an event out of this process and have the choreographers show their work to the audience and let the audience vote and decide for me? So that's how this dance competition performance came about. And we've been doing it now for about 5 years. Historically, we've been doing it in November, which for us at Nacre with Christmas Oratorio and Nutcracker was really crowded for us. So we decided this year, hey, let's try it during the summer season in Saratoga and see if we can get a little bit more audience and bring these visiting artists that come from all over, Western New York, down in the city, up in Vermont. So we're bringing them to our town during a great time of the year and all of their, supporters. And hopefully we'll just be able to add something else on the plate for visitors in Saratoga for the track season.
Okay, now for those attending, this sounds like a really fun event. It sounds like a really energetic event. Tell me what the night's going to be like.
Okay, so we've added a little bit more to it. So we have our summer workshop. So the week before this, we have kids that are working with a visiting artist. So they're going to present a piece to open up the show. And then we segue into these 7 choreographers who are going to show their work. And what happens is we decided to have a rock and roll theme. So each piece is choreographed to the choreographer's favorite rock and roll song, which I think is fitting for UPH since it's a music venue.
Right.
So they're really fun tunes. So the audience not only gets to listen to great music and great choreography, but they also get to vote the old-fashioned way, which I've been fighting with my board members who are like, I think we need to go digital with the voting. And I said, no, I think it's really fun that I have people running around the audience collecting paper ballots.
Yes, it will be. It will add to the energy, right?
Yes, and we play the Jeopardy music while that's happening.
Okay.
So it's interactive for the audience. It gets them talking to their neighbors about the pieces they saw and who they voted for. And for the artists themselves, it's a chance for them to network with other artists. A lot of the times I employ many of these people to be teachers for my summer camp or dance in the Nutcracker or dance in Oratorio. So it's just a win-win for everybody. And it's a lot of fun.
It really sounds it. Now, and maybe you can't do this, maybe you won't do this, but would you give us a tease of a little bit of the rock music we might hear that night?
Yes, there's Pink Floyd.
Okay.
Rolling Stones. Let's see. I can't think of the top of my head. Crimson and Clover. Don't know the name of that artist. Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. So was that Tommy James that did Crimson and Clover?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Fleetwood Mac. Wow, you got a who's who. Just about all of those. I think all those are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So these are some serious rock music that they're dancing to.
Yes. And also UPH has a rock camp going on right now with 17 students. And I visited there the other day. So we're hopefully going to let those kids who are at the rock camp play music for when our audience is entering the building. So you'll have
Oh,
kids
wow.
playing rock and roll music, and then we'll segue into the pieces to rock and roll songs. So it's going to be a fun evening, and also, highlight UPH and their rock program as well.
What I love about it being rock, and I'm going to stereotype here, which is a bad thing, but like the track crowd may not be so much. Not everybody there is into classical music, but there's a lot of there could be a lot of meshing there of wow, rock and roll music, dancing to rock and roll music. I'm about that. So I hope you get I hope you draw from a group, the track crowd perhaps, or others that normally might not go out of their way to go to a classical music event, for instance.
Right. And that was our goal. It's like, how do we make this catchy to build our audience, to have some fun, and to challenge the choreographers, to step
Yes.
outside maybe their comfort zone and find a song that inspires them to create. So, and we tried to make the selections really varied for the audience, as with the different songs, so that there's something for everybody.
Okay. Wow. That is really good for you for thinking of that and going right smack in the middle of track season, not shying away. Rock and roll music are right at. Good for you. I hope you get a great cross weave of attendees there that evening, and you always do. You always get a great attendance. Your events are successful, and you do it because of your love for the arts and your desire, right, Beth? I shouldn't be speaking for you here. Let me let you finish that sentence. It's in your heart. I know that.
It is. I've been doing this a long time, and there's not a lot of money in this, so it's really for the love of it. But I really, I love working with the student population, and so everything really goes back to them. They're in our workshops, then they get to sit and watch professional choreographers at this event after they've performed their piece, so they get to learn from other people and educate our community on what's out there for dance, and just challenge the artists and to give artists opportunities. And a lot of times with these choreographers, they're young, they don't have a lot of opportunities to perform in a beautiful venue. So to bring them to UPH, and we're going to have the drop down screen at UPH, so they're creating videos to introduce their own pieces, so they're going to give a little insight into their work, which is really great for the audience as well.
Wow. Hey, tell us a story. Did you in the past events? Did you have one of them, probably several of them, but tell us a story about one of them coming to you and sharing with you how that helped them or affected them.
Well, there's been a few that have made connections here in the Capital District. So, they're always just thankful that, we treat them professionally. We give them a beautiful venue. We support their efforts. We compensate them. And, dance, out of all the arts, there's not a lot of compensation. So I make sure that the artists are compensated for their time, which is so important. They put so much work into this. So, that's kind of the history behind that. And they're always just so thankful to be here. So it makes my heart sing,
That's wow. That is terrific. And this is Saturday, August 5th, correct? At
Yes.
7:30 p.m. at UPH Universal Preservation Hall. And let's see here. And to get tickets, they can go to nacredance.org. And
Yes.
it pops right up, folks, and that'll take it to the way to purchase tickets. Saratogians, I hope we come out in force for this from all corners, and this would be great. I hope you have the energy there in that room that I think you're going to have. That would be just so much fun. So wow, thanks, Beth. Thanks for joining us. You have any last thing you want to add to tell the viewers?
I'm always surprised at who the audience chooses. And I always think like, if I was going back to day one, who would I choose? And then I'm like, oh, and I open up that envelope because I open it up too. So it's a surprise for me at the end. I'm like, wow, that
Okay.
surprised me,
That's great. And those that don't win or don't come in first place, they still win because they had the opportunity, as you were mentioned earlier, and so forth, right?
Yeah,
And they build off of that.
Yeah, I preface that. It's really about just the joy of dance and sharing that with the community.
Well, excellent. Okay, Saturday, August 5th, at 7:30 p.m. at UPH. For you track goers, you can make them both. You can make the track, and you can have a wonderful night on the town with some great entertainment supporting